The era of the movie star is dead. For years, the industry used stars to guarantee success. Movie stars back in the day would get people in seats. If Sylvester Stallone was leading in a movie, people would watch it. If Leonardo DiCaprio was leading in a movie, people would buy tickets. But now, that's no longer the case. Leo is honestly a perfect example of this, but I'll mention him a little later. Because first, we have to look at the how and why of the movie star era's death. The how is pretty easy to see. When you look at the box office numbers, big stars are just not having the same box office draw they used to have. For example, Tom Cruise's newest Mission Impossible movie underperformed, and I don't think I have to tell you how notable that is. Caught Stealing, a movie with stars like Austin Butler, Zoe Kravitz, and Matt Smith, underperformed as well. And one battle after another with stars like Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, and Benicio del Toro also did not do too well. All of these movies that I mentioned are films that came out this year, and there are more than just these. And you can go back other years all the way to 2016, 2017, and see the same trends taking place of movies with star-studded casts not performing well. I'm not even including movies that weren't received well critically. These are movies that had great to decent reviews with a star-filled cast. Back in the day, that was basically the equation to a box office hit. As you can see, that's no longer the case, really. So why is the movie industry the way it is right now? What led to the death of the movie star and famous actors having less of a box office draw in today's modern Hollywood? Well, as it is for many things in this world, it's for a variety of factors. But first, I'll talk about the rise of movie franchises. As most people know by now, franchises and cinematic universes dominate the box office. People claim they want new and original ideas, but the movies that have a connection to other things or are a sequel to something usually dominate compared to the original ideas. This trend was ushered in by Marvel with its hyper-successful cinematic universe, which encouraged other studios to create a new franchise or go back in the shed and dust off some old IP. But this trend also affected celebrities. With this push of franchises and cinematic universes being the big popular thing, celebrities are starting to lose some of their draw. A lot of audiences weren't buying tickets anymore to go see their favorite movie star. No, they're going to go do it because they wanted to see their franchise. They wanted to go see Marvel or Dune or whatever, or Star Wars, and see that and see what happens in that universe. They didn't care who really played in those movies or acted in those movies. They just wanted to see the franchise. They want to see the cinematic universe taking place. So now you have a situation where the franchises and cinematic universes are now having more of a draw than the actors. People are not going to go see the movies because their favorite actor is in it. No, they're going to see it because their favorite franchise has a new movie. They don't care that fucking, whatever actor is playing that new character or whatever. They don't care. People weren't going to see the new Avengers Age of Ultron because RDJ, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, and Scarlett Johansson are in it. No, they went to see it because they wanted to see what was next for Iron Man and Captain America and the cinematic universe Marvel built. I would argue that the franchise was a bigger draw than the actors ever were, and that's very different from how the industry used to be, as I mentioned before. I can list more modern examples too, like Dune and the Batman, where the franchise is the main draw instead of the big name actors, and there's way more examples than that. So now that you understand the correlation I believe exists between the rise of cinematic universes / franchises and the downfall of movie stars, let's look into another factor I believe has caused this downfall of movie stars, and that's just that people are going to the movies less nowadays. People are just not going to have the same connection with the movie star if they're only going to the movies maybe 3 times a year at most. Some people don't go to the movies at all anymore, and it's not surprising to see that now people who are in those movies aren't really being treated as big as they used to be. People just flat out aren't going to see them as much in their movies, so they're not as popular as they used to be. Now, this is a small factor that's affected movie stars and actors, but it's notable nonetheless. Now, my last and final reason the movie star era is dead is because of social media. The days of seeing your favorite movie star only on the big screen or in a couple of news and reviews or news pieces is long gone. You can see them pretty much everywhere. On TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube. Hell, some of them have their own YouTube channels or Twitch channels, or they post every day on Instagram. The mystique that these movie stars once had, where you could only see them on the big screen, is kind of just completely gone. Not kind of, it is completely gone because of social media. Now there's also this thing where some people are, social media people, but they also act in movies and TV shows. This melding together of social media and actors and stars has kind of changed up the whole way we see movie stars now. I feel like actors aren't put on this pedestal that they once were because of social media. Before, they were seen as these almost godlike people, these people who are in Hollywood. You don't really ever see them, but you'll see them. There's this whole mystique about them. Now it's just completely gone. You see them everywhere. It's not that crazy that you saw Tom Holland on the big screen. You can see Tom Holland on Instagram. You can see him on TikTok. You can see him on everywhere pretty much. I guess the best way to explain it is that back in the day, movies kind of held, the best way to say it, the means of seeing an actor, the means of seeing a famous celebrity. Either you saw them in a theater, or you saw them when you bought the DVD or VHS, or you saw them doing a news interview that you only got to see once on TV, right? Now you can pretty much see them everywhere. So this whole, I guess, mystery about them, where you can only see them here at the movies, or you can only see them here on Fox News when we interview them, that's just completely gone. Now you can see them pretty much everywhere. The movies kind of held that where you can only see them here if you go in the theater. You can only see them in this movie. That's the only time you're ever able to see them. That made it a lot more interesting and gave the stars a lot more of, I guess, stardom, right? They were more rare, I guess is the best word to say it. And now they're really not that rare. You can see movie stars whenever you want. Honestly, you can just pull up TikTok and see clips of Tom Holland or Zendaya or whatever, whoever. Doesn't matter. Major entertainment institutions were pretty much the only way you could see your favorite stars. Now it's basically completely gone. But even with this idea that the movie star era is dead, I don't think that actors and movie stars still don't have a draw. They just don't have nearly the same they used to have back in the day. Before, like I said, if you had a good script and you had, a lot of good actors who were very famous, it was basically the equation to an instant hit. But now it's a little more multifaceted than that. You can still bring in a lot of people because of a star, but it's not going to be your main road to success. You have to have a lot more things going for you than just the movie star. You can't just have a good movie star, good script equals lots of money. There's more things involved in the marketing and things of that nature. I think that a lot of it comes down to having better marketing nowadays, especially if you're an independent movie, but also being part of a franchise. That's just the biggest thing about it too, is that franchises have now taken the role, or I guess taken the draw from celebrities, right? Studios shifted from lead to being the focus to franchises being the focus, and that's just the way it is. That's just the way the industry has moved. And like I said before, I still think that celebrities can still have a big draw at the box office. Like, for example, F1. F1 without Brad Pitt, I don't think it would have brought in as much money if Brad Pitt was not the leading man. I don't think they have the same draw that they used to, but they definitely still do have a draw at the box office. Just, once again, it's not the easy equation it used to be. Or Top Gun Maverick. I don't think Top Gun Maverick would have been the smash hit it was without Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise, I think, brought a lot of people in, but I don't think he was the main draw to that. I think also the fact that it was from the Top Gun series, a sequel to Top Gun, that brought a lot of people in, but I think it wouldn't have been as successful without Tom Cruise. So I guess to conclude this video, I'll say that movie stars don't have the same draw that they used to have, but they are still important for bringing people in to watch movies. It's just not the same slam dunk it used to be back in the day, as I mentioned, of the equation of good script plus super stacked cast equals lots of money. It's just not the way it is anymore. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. I'll see you guys later. Peace, peace. Have a good one. See ya.